did, Madam Senator, do make a ruling that this issue can be sorted as soon as possible. Thank you.
Senator Ali Abdullahi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to support the statement by Senator Halake. I will not talk more about what others have said, Madam Speaker. The world over, before the renewable energy was very expensive. Now, when it has come down, if we increase our VAT, then we are going back to the same place. That means that we don't want renewable energy to be the mainstay of this country, where we have the resources, we have the winds, we have the geothermal, we have the solar, the sun, but we want to go back to petroleum products, and we want to go back to fuel, which is very dangerous to the world all over. And I think we will urge the concerned authorities not to do what they are doing. And as Senator Sakaja said, we might not have the authority to go for it, but we have the mandate to fight as a Senate, and we will follow it up, and whoever is concerned should do what should be done. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Lokorio Betonila. 1 minute, please. Yes. We need to wind up that statement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will take exactly 1 minute. I'm a lady of few words. Madam Speaker, my issue is only on the fact that we are signatories as a country to the Sustainable Development Goals, which was an improvement from the Millennium Development Goals, because we thought that we needed to develop our countries or develop ourselves with the future in mind, so that we preserve the environment for our children and our grandchildren. So to put 40% tax on green energy, which is actually a step in the right direction of preserving the environment, is an insult to that signature we put internationally to the SDGs. Madam Speaker, I also want to join my colleagues to ask for your magnanimity in putting this statement to the relevant committee so that this matter can be discussed effectively. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. 1 minute, Senator Haji Faria Ali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I am, some of these things is shocking, because actually what we should be doing, we should have policies that encourage renewable energy. Madam Speaker, industrialization is part of President Uhuru's agenda for this country. But if you look at this incentives of including 14% VAT for renewable energy, Madam Speaker, is making energy more expensive, because if you go back to the use of fossil energy, that means you are making electricity much more expensive. And if you make electricity much more expensive, then you are curtailing the development of industries in this country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the other thing is counties like Wajir, most of our boreholes rely on solar energy to bring water out of for boreholes. And Madam Speaker, if you increase if you add VAT, 14% VAT on those, Madam Speaker is telling us that we cannot get water. Already we have water scarcity in our county, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the other issue is around, this will also impact innovation, Madam Speaker, because there is a lot of youth who are innovating around renewable energy. And Madam Speaker, given that it's also creating employment, Madam Speaker, and we have a very, even with COVID being in place, Madam Speaker, unemployment has also increased, Madam Speaker. And for this to be, and it is self-defeating. The more you create industries, the more you will be able to generate revenue from the sales of those. And now if you make the input expensive, that means you are making, that means just give me 1 more minute, Madam Speaker, so that I can conclude. So, Madam Speaker, the other issue is around what we should be doing as a country. We should create an incentive to incentivize people who are developing a renewable energy because of it's friendly to environment, and then how it is cheap, because it is in abundance, like solar energy. God has given us that in some part of this country. So, Madam Speaker, Even in my own county, like the other day I said in this house, we don't have electricity. 50 years down the line, we rely on generators that are not reliable. And like 70% of the time, Wajir is in darkness. Madam Speaker, if now we even make solar energy more expensive, then it means that we will be in more darkness, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I thank you for your indulgence.
Thank you. Finally, Senator Cherargei Samson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think I agree and support Senator Alake on this statement. And the introduction of value-added tax on renewable energy is unfortunate. The alternative is encouraging that are not friendly, the use of that are not friendly to environment, mostly pollutants. Madam Speaker, across the world, the world is moving towards renewable energy. And when you look at Article 42 of the Constitution, it talks about clean and healthy environment. The only way to ensure there is clean and healthy environment as provided and envisioned by the Constitution under Article 42, Madam Speaker, is when we zero rate and ensure that we encourage Kenyans towards renewable energy. Madam Speaker, for us who grew up in the village, we grew up when the environment was being destroyed, where the mamas could get coonies, and therefore there could a lot of smoke in the kitchen. And yet we want to encourage Kenyans to move in a more renewable, energy-friendly usage, Madam Speaker. So I agree this was unfortunate, and I thought the National Assembly, in their wisdom or lack of it, should have ensured that this matter should not have been given to the President for the assent. I think as a House, we must move forward and ensure the appropriate committee moves and reverse this issue of putting VAT tax. And Madam Speaker, finally, is that we need to encourage, to ensure this statement by Senator Alake, and look forward to a more conclusion that will ensure Kenyans do not have to pay VAT on such on renewable energy. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senators. Yes, I am persuaded, Senator Bishiro, to refer the statement to the committee of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget. Honorable Senators, the next statements are on Order 48-1, and I'm really going to seek your indulgence because we want to read all of them today. They are 19 in number. I would like to plead that the mover, the statement giver gives the statement and we refer to the committee for those members who are present so that we offload them from our order paper, because the order paper is really congested. So the first statement is by Senator Beatrice Kwamboga. An apology has been given. So we move to the second one, which is from the Senator of Kakamega, Senator Clopas Malala. Anybody given that assignment? No. Statement number 3 is from Senator Johnson Sakaja. Johnson Sakaja was right here. Stepped out. Let's move on. We will come back to him. The fourth statement is from Senator Dr. Abdullahi Ali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Sorry, I have two of them, so I'm getting confused with you.
It is the one to labor and
Labor,
social
okay.
welfare.
Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 48-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare regarding non-remittance of employee statutory deductions, non-payment of work injury benefits, and other labor-related violations by county governments. In the statement, the committee should respond to the following. 1. What policy or regulatory framework guides county governments on violations on remittances of employee statutory deductions, payment of work injury benefit, and other labor-related violations, including payments to loans, payments of loans, and to SACCO societies. 2. What measures has the government put in place to protect county employees against the above violations? 3. What is the status of Wajir vis-a-vis remittances of such deductions, particularly PAYE, NHIF, NSSF, and other statutory deductions. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Haji Faria Ali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to congratulate my senator for Wajir for bringing in this statement. Madam Speaker, Wajir County not only does it not remit those deductions, even the staff allocation, Madam Speaker, that staff are told to claim ourselves for allocation of funds to the county. Yet, Madam Speaker, there is clear violation of what is meant for the people of the county, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if deductions for that year is not paid to the respective institution, Madam Speaker, I do not understand why even people like KRA do not even freeze those accounts, Madam Speaker, for the county government. Because, Madam Speaker, if not even insurance for the staff, Madam Speaker, the staff of Wajir do not have insurance, Madam Speaker. All the other time, Madam Speaker, we make contributions for medical people who are employees of the county, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, there is a lot of issues in Wajir that needs to be addressed urgently, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, I urge the institutions like EACC, DCI, to come to the rescue of the people of Wajir to ensure that the right, accountability is expected of Wajir County, Madam Speaker. Because there are certain things, Madam Speaker, like for example, the SACCO, if you don't contribute, people borrow loans and you don't contribute. How do you expect those SACCOs to survive, Madam Speaker? And some of these SACCOs die because of non-contribution, non-remittance from the county. And people have rightfully contributed to those SACCO society, Madam Speaker. That means, Madam Speaker, even the savings for the people who saved with that SACCO is at risk, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, the other day I brought statement, which I am waiting for Education Committee to respond. There is a committee of the county government that was not paid for 23 months, Madam Speaker. And even after they were not paid for those 23 months, Madam Speaker, this committee's tenure has ended, and I had requested that the county government should be stopped from recruiting further until they pay the benefits of the former committee, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, there is a lot of issues that is around Wajir in terms of accountability. And, Madam Speaker, including, Madam Speaker, people's monies are requested from controller of budget to pay certain suppliers, Madam Speaker. And those people are not paid, other people are paid, Madam Speaker. And, Madam Speaker, me sometimes I question the role of controller of budget, Madam Speaker. Because if you cannot take care of certain those malpractices, then why do you exist for approving expenditure if you can't even stop such malpractices? Madam Speaker, I support.
Thank you, Senator. It said 1 minute each, so we can allow 2 people. Senator Boy, Isa, and then we'll move to the next statement. 1 minute, please.
Asante sana Madam Speaker kunipa fursa hii. Kwanza namshukuru sana Senator Ali kuleta hii statement yake wakati huu ambapo sahihi kuna matatizo mengi sana ya ufisadi ambayo yameingia ndani ya nchi yetu. Kusema la kweli la kusikitisha kuona kwamba wafanyakazi wa Wajir hawapati haki yao na pia kama ile allowance zao pia kulipwa ni shida. Madam Speaker, sahihi tumefika wakati kwamba ufisadi lazima ukomeshwe katika nchi yetu hii. Na haswa huko sehemu za Wajir ni jambo la kusikitisha sana. Yani mfanyakazi hata ile pesa NSSF kulipiwa kama anavyosema Senator Ali pia hazilipiwi. Mfanyakazi pia ambaye anatoka jasho anaenda katika nyanja za chini kwa wale ambapo kuna joto na jua pia hapati haki yake. Madam Speaker, mimi statement hii naunga mkono na sheria ichukuliwe hatua kali sana kwa hii county government ya Wajir. Sheria ichukuliwe mkono na wale ambao wanafanya ufisadi huo basi wasibakishwe. Hao ni watu wabaya sana. Asante sana Madam Speaker.
Okay, thank you very much. That statement stands committed to the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare. The next statement is from Senator Mbito, is not around. The next one, number 6, is from Senator for Mombasa, Senator Mohamed Faki Munyihaji.
Asante, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I rise pursuant to Standing Orders number 48-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Information and Technology regarding the state of affairs at the Postal Corporation of Kenya, PCK. In the statement, Madam Speaker, the committee should explain why the corporation has not paid staff salary for the last 6 months. Number 2, state why the employees' statutory deductions, SACCO contributions, and deductions to financial institutions have not been remitted by the said corporation. And number 3, Madam Speaker, appraise the House on the general state of affairs at PCK, indicating whether the corporation is able to meet its future financial obligations relating to staff salaries and other labor obligations. Madam Speaker, it is very painful that 6 months into the COVID pandemic, the Postal Corporation of Kenya has not paid salaries to its employees throughout the Republic. Madam Speaker, it will be noted that recently the Board of Management renewed the employment contract of the Postmaster General. And it is sad, Madam Speaker, to state that immediately after the renewal, the employees have gone out without salaries for the last 6 months. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Gerald K. Samson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to congratulate Senator Mohamed Faki for bringing this issue. Madam Speaker, this is a clear violation of labor rights as enshrined in Article 41 of the Constitution of Kenya. It is sad that in this day and age, there are government employees in one of the parastatals that have gone for 6 months without pay. It is not only inhuman, it is tragic, it is sad. I can imagine the pain and anguish that their families undergo because their parents cannot buy food, cannot pay rent, cannot have sustainable, especially, Madam Speaker, during this COVID pandemic period. Madam Speaker, it is very sad, when you see employees, and this issue has been raised for the last 6 months, Madam Speaker, that people do not have. People can work hard, Madam Speaker. Even the Bible encourages us, for us who are Christians, to work for us to be paid. Why is the Postal Corporation of Kenya cannot be able to pay the employees? Yet they have board of management, yet they have leadership in place, they have the board that manages. Madam Speaker, it is so sad, it is painful for the employees of the Postal Corporation in this country, Madam Speaker. Even if, Madam Speaker, the Postal Corporation is not performing as expected, it is the parastatal that should be bailed out by the government of the day. It is not a private entity. Why doesn't the government bail out the Postal Corporation? Or if it cannot possible, then they should privatize. But 15 days on this issue. By next week, Tuesday, in my own request, Madam Speaker, we should have the progress report by the Labour Committee to tell us the status. And if Postal Corporation of Kenya is making losses, Madam Speaker, they need to also adapt with technology. When you go to the United States of America now, the people are using the Postal Corporation of America to mail their ballot papers to vote. Why is the Kenya Postal Corporation not adapting to the technology and the changes that are coming up, Madam Speaker? So, Madam Speaker, on this issue, unfortunately, Madam Speaker, as I conclude, the people who are trade unionists, who should be championing for the rights of these workers, are busy doing politics of the day. I wish they were busy, Madam Speaker, fighting for the rights of these employees of Postal Corporation, who should be, the union leader should be at the forefront, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this is corruption, this is immoral, this is economically unjustifiable. When their children go hungry, when they cannot visit hospital because they don't have money, especially during this COVID pandemic, Madam Speaker. I think as we fight the COVID pandemic, it is unfortunate that this is a pandemic within the Postal Corporation within this republic. So, Madam Speaker, I hope the minister in charge of ICT, the board management, the CEO of this parastatal, Madam Speaker, and the chairman of the board must come out and tell the country what is really ailing our Postal Corporation. But my appeal to President of the Republic of Kenya, kindly bail out Postal Corporation, but don't only bail out the suppliers and the pending bills. Start with the employees of this Postal Corporation of this country. And because Postal Corporation is very important, when some of us used to write love letters, it is the Postal Corporation that have created marriages in this country. Now people have moved to the SMS and the WhatsApp groups, Madam Speaker. But many families were set up through Postal Corporation because they ensure timely delivery of love letters, and many families have been born out of it. I thank you, Madam Speaker, and look forward to resolving this issue.
I can assure you the love letters are still being written, but now different mode of via different mode of communication. Senator Boy Issa Juma.
Madam Speaker, asante sana kunipa fursa hii. Madam Speaker, haya waliosema Senator Faki na munga mkono ni ya kweli kabisa. Mimi mwenyewe nina ndugu yangu ambaye ni mdogo wangu wa tatu afanya kazi posta. Kila nikienda, huu ni mwezi karibu wa pili, namsaidia, namsimamia, mpaka mwisho namuuliza kani shida iko wapi. Anaambia bro, mimi sijapata pesa paka leo. Kwa hivyo Madam Speaker, haya maneno nasema ni ya kweli, na kama serikali kweli kama kuna shida kama hii, serikali ni kwa haraka sana itie pesa au isimamie posta iweze kuwasaidia wafanyakazi wake. Hali ya nchi sahihi, Madam Speaker, ni ngumu sana. Kumeingia mambo ya corona. Chakula sahihi ni shida. Mimi mwenyewe pesa ambazo nazozipata zikifika Kwale, nikifika jicho lake linaangalia ataka pesa kwangu mimi. Madam Speaker, wacha pia kusema bara mshahara. Posta yenyewe ina matatizo makubwa. Ofisi kuu ya posta kule Lungalunga, nyumba yake ina karibu kuanguka. Nimepiga kelele karibu mara 2 mara 3 kwamba posta waende warekebishe ile nyumba yao ya Lungalunga, au sivyo wafunge. Watu wanakaumo ndani wanyeshewa na mvua. Hii ni aibu kubwa sana kwa sisi watu wa Kenya. Posta pesa inapata, ikiwa mkurugenzi mkuu wa contract yake imekuwa renew, kwa nini hawawezi kuwalipa wafanyikazi wa posta? Na chama cha wafanyikazi zinaangalia chama cha posta. Mimi nawaambia wakuu wa chama cha wafanyikazi wasimame imara, wapige kelele, wahakikishe kwamba hawa wafanyikazi wa posta wanapata pesa zao. Kwa hivyo mimi naunga mkono statement hii ya Mheshimiwa Faki, na kwa haraka sana tutaka hapa mpaka mwezi ujao tuone wafanyikazi wa posta wamelipwa. Mimi nachoka. Kakaangu mdogo wangu amefanya posta karibu miaka 10. Sasa hii mimi nikifika Kwale, jambo la kwanza unaangalia na macho, hata sina raha mimi mwenyewe. Mara na sina petroli, wewe usifanya kazi posta kila siku na kusaidia. Kwa hivyo Madam Speaker, sasa hii kamati kama itachunguza hilo jambo ifanye kwa haraka sana. Na hii bodi ya posta pia sio wakaya wapate pesa allowance makubwa kizunguka kwenda Nairobi, si kwenda Takaungu, kwenda wapi. Wahakikishe kwamba wafanyakazi wao wanapata pesa. Sasa hii kuna corona, kuna shida chakula, kuna shida kulipa marenti. Watu paka nyumba wamefukuzwa, Madam Speaker. Hii inakusikitisha kwa Wakenya jamani. Madam Speaker, mimi naunga statement hii ilitolewa na Mheshimiwa Faki ishughulikiwe kwa haraka sana. Asante sana Madam Speaker.
I see no further request for contribution. I therefore refer this statement to the Committee on Information Technology and Technology. Next statement is by Senator Alice Milgo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 48-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources regarding the continued destruction by fires of the conservation area around the Tsavo National Park. In the statement, the committee should elucidate on the cause of the frequent fires that have destroyed the conservation area for a long time. 2, outline the measures that have been put in place to avoid further destruction of the national park by fires, as well as measures that the Kenya Wildlife Service will put in place to respond in a timely manner to mitigate against mass destruction of the conservation area by these fires. And 3, state water and wild animals died as a result of the fires, and whether there are any plans to ensure this does not happen again in future. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I will allow a few comments, and we have Senator Ali Abdullah Ibrahim.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is frightening when you see what happens, what you saw happened in Tsavo National Park. Every time, I think it's twice or 3 times that every time you see the place burning down, you see animals running up and down, you see people traveling to Mombasa cannot even pass through the road because of the fires. And what surprises us is that even if they are not tourists now, the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife has helicopters, has a lot of Kenya Wildlife Service, it has a lot of askaris, it has a lot of resources. Why should these fires be burning every day? And then the wildlife run around into the roads and even make life of other people, seriously. So, Madam Speaker, I think this is a very serious issue. Fires in dry seasons usually burn, yes, but the culprits, if it's caused by human beings, if it is because of those people who invade the national parks, whether they are pastoralists or whether they are poachers or whether they are other people who have earned it, something should be done, and I think this is something which should be stopped, and the Ministry of Wildlife should tell us really what's going on and what they do with the finances. The issue of COVID and the situation now should not be an excuse, Madam Speaker. These are very serious issues. We have to take care of our wildlife. We have to take care of the people who live there. We have the conservancies, if there are issues, they should be told what's happening. And I support the statement, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Senator Halake Abshiro.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to support the statement by Senator Milgo on the need to find what is going on at our conservation area of the Tsavos. Madam Speaker, I have been advocating for community conservation. The Tsavo National Park is government park. It's a national park. Now, the reason why sometimes we find this disconnect is that the communities living around our national parks are not being accommodated, they are not being used efficiently, and are not benefiting from maybe the conservation area. So, Madam Speaker, I think it's about time our agencies that have the mandate for conserving our national parks came clean, used just not policing, because policing will not work, but used communities around the park to ensure that good conservation, sustainable conservation is undertaken in our national parks. Madam Speaker, it's unfathomable. It's really sad to see that fires are causing untold suffering on our animals. And sometimes people say these animals belong to KWS. The animals do not belong to KWS. The animals belong to all of us. They belong to this country. They belong to the world. They are of national and global importance, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I think a good solution needs to be found. And from where I sit, wearing a conservation hat, the solution is in community conservation. The solution is ensuring that communities that live around Tsavo are part and parcel of the conservation of the Tsavo conservation area, that the communities also benefit as well from that. But I'd like to congratulate the government for recently giving some 2 billion shillings to community conservation, and that is something that we look forward to, and that it will become mainstreamed into the going forward into the budget of this country, that communities that bear the brunt of conservation, communities that host the animals, communities that are part of the landscape are also recognized and are given the compensation they need, and are actually used in the fight against the fight against poaching and fight against the bad consequences of some of the habits around our parks. Madam Speaker, with those few remarks, I support Senator Milgo's Senator Milgo's statement that we must get to the bottom of this and ensure that our national parks have sustainable conservation at heart, not just policing that you go, you run in, and then you run out, and you forget that this is a large ecosystem that contains communities as well. I thank you. I'd like to encourage the government to continue investing in the communities around the parks to ensure that we don't see these kinds of wanton destruction of our national parks. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
As we wait for Senator Naomi Wako from the extended chamber, Senator Musuruve, a few minutes to comment on this.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support. A serious thing that the Tsavo National Park can go on fire. As Kenyans, we have to see how to conserve the Tsavo National Park for the economic gains that we have from the parks. One of the main economic gains is tourism, because sometimes tourists come to the country just to see the wild animals that are there. So as it brings income, to to the community and to the country, we have to see how to conserve the Tsavo National Park. And even, Honorable Speaker, there's need to really coexist with the animals. Every animate being has value addition in this universe. So we have to see how to ensure that animals are not extinct. And recently in the papers, Honorable Speaker, I just saw information on the daily newspaper where the giraffes, especially the white giraffes, are now extinct. And we have to see how to ensure that animals are not extinct because of the value addition that they have. And Honorable Speaker, we cannot also forget the fact that even when it comes to employment, our youth are able to get employment as tourists, tour guides, and so on. And in the event, also hotels are able to get tourists, living, booking accommodation in order to be taken around the country to see animals. So we have to conserve our wildlife, Honorable Speaker, and the government needs to look for mechanisms and ways of ensuring that both wildlife and human beings are able to coexist, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to support this statement.
Senator Naomi Wako.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing me to add my voice of support to this very important statement by Dr. Senator Milgo. Madam Speaker, this is something that affects almost many parts of this country, and it is unfortunate that when it happens, we lose a lot as a country. Our animals are affected, the resources around there are definitely affected, and the air is also polluted. So, Madam Speaker, I come from a place that we have a lot of national parks, and we have the wild animals that give us a lot of opportunity and bring in a lot of income. But when it happens, then it affects. And especially what happens to Tsavo National Park is a great loss to us as a nation, putting into consideration that in Australia, there is an animal, there is a certain animal, Masupo, a carnivore, that has been, got extinct because of the fire. So, Madam Speaker, I support the statement and pray that our government will put into consideration the proper plans that can protect our resources so that we don't keep on losing and also the human beings being affected. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Next statement is a statement by Senator for Isiolo, Senator Fatuma Dulu. Two statements. You can start with the one on attack by the police, and then we move. Yes, Senator Sakaja.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, just on a point of order, I acknowledge that the chair has changed its occupant. The resolution earlier today in the Senate Business Committee, which Senator Kangata and Senator Dulo can confirm, was that because of the sheer number of these statements, that they're just they're read in terms of title and tabled and referred to the committees, so that we can go on to further business. Madam Speaker, that was the resolution. Senator Kangata can confirm. If you could effect that, then we could be able to go to some of the bills we've been waiting for, as well, that are on the order paper, Madam Speaker. Maybe that can be confirmed to you by the clerks at the table.
Yes, Senator Kangata.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I confirm that is the position, and in particular, there is a bill that we really want to move, the Section of Properties Bill 2019.
Yes, I am aware that that is a position, but I noticed that at least for each statement we've been allowing 2 or so very short comments, so we will reach even that bill on sectional property. So we'll time ourselves accordingly. So Senator Fatuma Dulo, I'll ask you to do your 2 statements so that then we have quick comments.
Okay, I think, Madam Speaker, that was the decision of the House Business Committee, but the chair vacated that position when he was on the chair, and I think that changed everything. But nevertheless, let me just quickly read my statements. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 48-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the assault of Isiolo resident county by police officers at a place called Barambate Police Post, Isiolo County. In the statement, the committee should urgently investigate and establish the police officers who assaulted and seriously injured Mr. Mohammed Ulufo at Barambate Police Post, as well as all persons complicit in the incident. Number 2, explain what action has been taken by the National Police Service to address cases of police brutality at the said police post following the assault of Mr. Ulufo. Number 3, state why Mr. Ulufo was denied his right to emergency medical attention despite sustaining severe injuries following the police brutality meted on him. And finally, state when Mr. Ulufo and other victims of police brutality in Isiolo County will be compensated. The second one is, Madam Speaker, I rise on Standing Order 48-1 to seek a statement from Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources concerning human-wildlife conflict in Isiolo County. In the statement, the committee should explain the circumstances surrounding around which a lion raided a village in Kina Town, Isiolo County, attacking and killing livestock and serious injury to Mr. 2, provide an up-to-date report on responses measures by the Kenya Wildlife Service to wildlife attacks in Isiolo County. Number 3, regulate measures put in place to prevent future cases of human-wildlife conflict in the area. And finally, state when Mr. Galgalo and other victims of human-wildlife conflict will be compensated. I thank you.
I will allow very short comments from just 2. Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to support Senator Dulo on the issue of assault by the police. I think police brutality is becoming a norm in this country. If you don't die by the bullet of an armed robber, you are likely to die by the stray bullet or extra extra trigger-happy police officers, Madam Speaker. I think, for example, in the last few months, Nandi also bear the biggest brunt when the police allegedly killed around 3 people in Lesos area. The other day we saw in Kericho. I think when I was the chair legal, we tried with former Vice Chair of National Security, Senator Sakaja, to try to address this issue of enforced disappearance and extrajudicial killings. I think there is a big problem that we are facing as a country. I wish IG Hilary Mutyambai would have been more faster, the way he has been faster today to condemn leaders who have been making utterances in public rallies. If we had the police that is more proactive and police that is friendly, Madam Speaker will be able, and I hope that that issue of Isiolo County will be resolved. Finally, Madam Speaker, I want to call upon the Independent Policing Oversight Authority that they need to stand firm. They need to investigate. These officers that are assaulting ordinary Kenyans must be brought to book. They are not police officers. I know many good police officers across this country, Madam Speaker. These are criminal elements within the police service, and they are giving police service a bad name that we go to police force. Yes, the Constitution, which is progressive, has created a police service, and it says utumishi kwa wote. Madam Speaker, I support, and I hope the Committee on Security, which you are a member, Madam Speaker, will be able to resolve this issue. I hope when we appear before your committee, you will, this time around, kindly be magnanimous with us when we'll be asking hard questions. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
I now proceed to refer the statements to the relevant committees. I start with a statement by Senator Milgo, which I had not referred to go to the Committee on Lands, Environment, and Natural Resources, and refer the Senator Dulo's statement on attack by police to the Committee of National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations, and the second statement by Senator Dulo also referred to the Standing Committee on Land, Environment, and Natural Resources. Next statement is by Senator of Lamu. I see you have two statements, so I would be asking you to do the two at the same time, one after the other.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I'll go straight ahead to the first statement, considering I have two statements.